Good evening, everyone, and Merry Christmas to you. Jay Handel 4 coming back at y'all with another video figure review. Tonight I will be taking a look at Transformers Cybertron Deluxe Class Override GTS. Now, as I understand, Override is a character and a figure that was released when the Transformers Cybertron toy line was just getting hot and heavy back in 2005. As such, she's one of the earlier characters. Although, as you may observe from your screen right now, this is the GTS version of the Override character, which means instead of the orange and instead of the bright red, bright white, and orange, it's got some silver paint. Well, silver paint for the face, black for the head, with some silver for her crest. Her body is mostly a light gray color. I don't know how good you can see it in the light, but it's a mostly light gray color on her body, her arms, and her legs. Some of this nice medium red color on her chest, torso area, and on the shins, and some brighter, from what I can tell, there's brighter red paint on her toenails, if you want to call them those, the toenails. Also bright red on these two posts at the top of her shoulders. And there's also a little bit of just some black for the tires, some more silver paint for the wheels and the grills, more silver paint on her wrist gauntlets, wrist bracers, and of course, color scheme translates over to her weapon, which will become her spoiler in vehicle mode. And we cannot forget her Speed Planet Cyber Key, which is plugged in to activate the weapons feature of her spoiler, which is this double-barreled blaster thing. So that basically takes care of Override's aesthetics. Let me take this weapon out of her hand real quick. So, standing. Well, this copy of the figure isn't really balanced, so go show off the like a nitpick or two once I get done showing off the articulation. But before I do that, I'll go ahead real quick, as I do in my other videos, take a nice look at the head sculpt. Hopefully we won't zoom in too much. Yeah. Some nice silver paint for the face. That's either a dark blue or dark black for her eyes. And some light mint green for that crest in the middle of her head. And of course, silver paint for the side crest on her top. So anyways, that out of the way, articulation wise. Her head can kind of sort of move, but that's one of the nitpicks. One of the complaints I have about the figure. It doesn't really move that much all the way. I mean, it moves side to side only a little bit, but it doesn't have any neck articulation, doesn't move up and down. Of course, shoulders, they can pivot in and out like so. They're able to rotate all the way back. Okay. Just gonna put it down. All right. Has some nice bicep articulation. Biceps can twist. Let's see if the elbows. Yes, elbows are able to twist, and she does not have any wrist articulation whatsoever. She doesn't have any waist articulation, and then there's the other nitpick about the figure. Her legs are kind of loose. They kind of wiggle, and they're not always the most stable when you're standing on flat surfaces. But you know, that's come to be expected from a figure that was been released in 2005. So can't really say too much about that. Anyway, the legs do split. As you can see, she splits wide like this. Has a bit of kicking forward motion like that. And she can kick backwards a considerable deal. And she's able to bend her knee all the way back like this. All right. Thigh articulation. There's a thigh swivel. Of course, there's a knee swivel. And there is a foot swivel, but that's mostly for the transformation. But you can work with the feet and these spur pieces in the back to get her in a nice pose. Nice, stable pose if you can. And of course, she comes with this double-barreled blaster weapon with the cyber key already inserted. This is what will become her spoiler in her vehicle mode or car mode. So sometimes you have to finick around with these blaster pieces at the front just to get them straight. Again, it's either plastic or the springs in the mechanism that are starting to warp. So again, that's to be expected since this is a 2005 figure. And of course, this weapon can sit in either, or it can be pegged in either her left or right hand. But be aware that she won't be able to articulate her elbows when she's holding her gun. Let's go ahead and articulate her other elbow real quick. So again, the brief issue with the legs notwithstanding, if you fiddle around with the legs a bit, fiddle around with the feet and the spurs, you can get her in a nice, stable, balanced pose such as this. Move the camera down a bit. So anyway, that's all I can say about our Override GTS in her robot mode. After the jump, I will go ahead and talk a little bit about her vehicle mode. Stay tuned. Alrighty, friends, I am back with Override GTS in her very, very, very futuristic looking car mode, vehicle mode. Basically the same color scheme as before with the robot mode. Follows over nicely in the car mode. As far as I can tell, she transforms into a Cybertronic race car of some type that can be found, or type that can be found on her native speed planet, as I understand from the cartoon's canon, the lore. So this section you have to kind of mess around with because it's a spring-loaded section. It kind of pops back up if you don't attach this section right here, this black section. Push it up into this nose area, canopy area, neck area. That becomes a chest, and robot motor just keeps springing back into its robot mode position. But other than that, no other problems that I can find with it. Rolls really well on the table. Nice loud rolling motion to it. And also, before I forget, go ahead and try the cyber key. See if we can deploy her guns in car mode. Yes, we can deploy the guns in car mode, but only just. Maybe have to play around with the guns, tote them out just a bit so they don't touch on the roof. But you are able to use her guns in car mode by way of the cyber key and back. So other than that, that has been my very brief review of Transformers Cybertron Deluxe Class Override GTS. Not a bad figure, not a bad classic figure, or classic era figure. In my opinion, she looks a lot better than the original copy of the Override character that was originally released in 2005 that kind of sort of looks a bit like Minerva by the orange face. I think this color scheme suits her a bit better than that one. So as not to confuse her with the Minerva character in question. Overall, once again, another decent car, another decent robot mode. So other than that, here's hoping that you've enjoyed what you've seen here. And until next time, this is JHando4. Once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and take care.